Hey guys, Jarek and Mookie here, going to be doing some more Halo Master Chief Collection. This time we're doing some Halo 2 Anniversary on Zanzibar. I don't even remember the Stonetown's the new name. I don't care, it's Zanzibar.
It's always Zanzibar. Zanzibar. It's got the beach.
Does Zanzibar make you start singing?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I think this was Team BR's. I'm pretty sure it was Team BR's.
It's always Team BRs. That's always what gets voted.
Okay, this map was definitely made for objectives, and I actually like it for objectives, but I can't say I'm really a big fan for Team Deathmatch.
You know,
a lot of it, and you'll see it what I'm doing a lot of the times, and unfortunately this is just kind of the way you have to play. I was doing a lot of camping. I was staying around the window a lot.
The window near the seawall?
Yeah. But,
Yeah,
I mean, I had a sniper for most of the game, and you have a BR, so you really don't have much reason to leave.
See, this particular map is really open, and it's got some pathways on the side, but not enough to where you can't manage it.
It doesn't give you any reason to try to approach.
Yeah.
Like, it is not safe to approach, so just being patient is far more, it's going to reward you so much more.
Part of me does enjoy this map with Slayer BR, though, I will say.
I'm a person that always prefers to approach and get in close to people. That is always what I prefer to do. So, you know, in my mind, it should be made, a map should be made for both. You should be able to sit back if you really want to, but there also should be ways to approach them, you know, accommodate every playstyle possible.
Mm-hmm.
Which, funny enough, that's something that Tripwire really tried to do for Rising Storm, because everyone on, apparently, as they were saying, most people from the start, oh, this is not a good situation. That's, I'm not gonna win this. But as they were saying, most people that started Tripwire are more of the kind of the rifleman type guys, where they prefer to sit back and be patient. And if you play Core Red Orchestra 2, you notice that, like, it is a patient man's game. It definitely is. And you haven't played too much of it. You've played enough to get the hint. Also, is it just me, or does hijacking not hurt your shields?
It doesn't seem like it. Wow. It should definitely do more. Like
was it that way in Halo 2?
I don't remember.
Because I'm thinking, I know it did in Halo 3. That's a random body going up the window, alright. I know it did in Halo 3, but I'm thinking maybe my memory's just bad, and it didn't actually do that in Halo 2, so for Halo 2 Anniversary they didn't make it do that.
It's funny, I've got 4,000 games of Halo 2, and I couldn't tell you because I always avoided vehicles, like the plague.
Yeah, well, when you're just doing Team Slayer and not Big Team Battle, you know.
Yeah, of course.
You don't have much reason to get into vehicles. But yes, as I was saying, you played a little bit of Red Orchestra to kind of get some feeling for the game.
With it. Yeah, I'm definitely not like just
you wouldn't have a ton of knowledge with it, but you would know how it, in general, how it plays.
I know how to camp on a minigun or a chain,
and then get sniped in the face, because that game is like, it's so risky. It is so risky to try to use a machine gun to hold a position off, because you're so exposed when that happens. You just do not want to expose yourself in that game.
It's so real.
Perfect grenade throw. So pro.
We were actually playing against players in that particular scenario where I was camping with a machine gun, and I didn't get shot once. I don't know if they were bad or what, but
it kind of depends on what the other teammates are doing, but you're definitely more, compared to when you're approaching with like an SMG or something and you're taking safe routes, or when you're sitting back with a machine gun with your head poking out. Like, sure, you can shoot back and suppress them, but you're still like shootable, and it only takes one shot in that game. So it's more of a risk to do that.
That game punishes you hard.
Oh, I love that about that game, though. That game is not casual friendly, but that's what I love about it. High sword. But yes, where this was going originally, the first guys at Tripwire were more rifleman guys, and you can totally tell with Red Orchestra 2. Like, there's really not, I mean, there are ways to approach, but it's definitely rifle friendly, with the few exceptions of maps like Apartments that are pretty much all up close, which I feel like that was their attempt to appeal to the Call of Duty crowd. And I guess it works, because everyone always votes that damn map. I mean, I don't hate it, but my goodness, I want to play something else too.
So, forgive my lack of knowledge with Red Orchestra, but it's PC exclusive, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Tripwire. Up until Killing Floor 2, everything has always been PC exclusive.
That's one thing with PC gaming is they're so complex that there's such a huge learning curve, and
it really depends on the game. There are PC exclusives that aren't the same, like for instance Primal Carnage. Very, very noob friendly game. It's a very casual game. It's a time waster. It's not a game I'm going to be playing competitively at all. And ultimately that's the reason I like Dino D-Day more, is just because I can get into that game. And I think you've played multiplayer a little bit?
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure you have experienced when a good player is playing against you in that game.
I was there when you told me to right click.
Oh, right. But yes, Tripwire definitely does go for games that have a learning curve to them. That's for sure. And I love them for it. They're definitely a company that respects their gamers and respects their game.
And respects their gamers' knowledge, you know, and their...
To be honest, I think they listen to gamers a little bit too much.
So,
this guy, so...
This particular moment...
When I was playing, I didn't know this was happening, but... I don't know, this guy just wanted to get in frame.
How's it going? Hey, how's it going?
I don't know where the body came from, or why it went flying across the screen.
I'm guessing the fusion coils blew up. Like, that's my only guess. Like, maybe the fusion coils just launched them.
Is it just me, or the fusion coil is a lot weaker than they used to be?
I
have never gotten any kills with them. I've shot them when someone is standing right next to them, and it didn't... I mean, it dropped their shields, but it didn't kill them.
Fusion coils are kind of that weird thing where, like, in Halo 2 Classic, they wouldn't respawn, but I believe they do respawn in Anniversary.
So I guess it would make sense that they made them weaker.
Yeah.
Alright.
Balancing.
Speaking of that, it's going back to my original topic, Rising Storm. So, the expansion for Red Orchestra 2, the Japs vs. Americans, they went out of their way a lot to try to make Rising Storm more friendly for approaching. They tried to have more routes for using SMGs, or, you know, in that game you have katanas too for the Japanese players, or the flamethrowers. They wanted it to cater to all playstyles. And honestly, I feel like I like Red Orchestra 2 a lot more than Rising Storm. And I don't think the reason is because there's more ways to approach. I think it's just because there's a lot more bullshit in Rising Storm.
Like, what do you mean bullshit?
So, Red Orchestra 2 is just Russians versus Nazis. When it comes to their general weapons, it's pretty much all SMGs, bolt actions, semi-autos. You have the STG, which is kind of overpowered, but it's not entirely game-breaking. It's pretty bad, but it's not game-breaking, and you're limited to how many people can actually use it. In Rising Storm, the Americans have the trench gun, the flamethrower. Like, there's so many variables that you don't know who has what, and in my opinion, the flamethrower is incredibly overpowered and frustrating. So overpowered. And the reason is because it does volumetric damage to everyone, which is nice, except for the person using the flamethrower. So you can run into a room, shoot fire everywhere, spinning in circles, and take no damage while killing everyone in the room. And on top of that, the fire kills people instantly. Also, you apparently can't launch at people on a Warthog or a Mongoose. I did not know this. He almost got me killed, too. But yes, the flamethrower, overpowered. The very moment fire touches you, you're pretty much dead. You should at least have some chance to, like, trade kill. You know,
yeah,
I know...
that seems really, really broken, because...
And it's weird, because everyone has complained about it. And Tripwire usually is very adamant in listening to their gamers, their players, their fan base. In my opinion, overboard. Like, way overboard. Like, some guns in Killing Floor have been nerfed to the point of where they really should not be nerfed. The M99 is pretty much useless now, it's so expensive. So, in my opinion, the M99, you can only carry an M99 in an M9. It takes 15 out of 15 blocks. Why they needed to nerf it that badly, I have no idea. But it was mainly because the forum was filled with everyone complaining about it. So they went overboard, and they listened. With this, they're just ignoring, despite the fact that the forum is also talking about, hey, this is kind of game-breaking. It's really obnoxious. Yeah, I prefer Red Orchestra 2. Despite the fact that Rising Storm has a lot of different ways to approach, it still has that random factor of things you can't really expect.
Yeah, of course. And that makes it more fun for, I guess, casual players?
Okay, I gotta point out, someone on my team went 19-0.
Wow. Good job. I did
the guys on the guys on the other team were definitely goofing around. You could tell they were in Ghost most of the time, and just there was 2 elite bros on the other team just goofing off.
Really?
I'm okay with that. Anyway, there's been some more Halo 2 anniversary. Hope you guys have enjoyed it.